Welcome to Not Your Typical English Podcast. Join Christine, Miriam, and Bea, your English teaching hosts. Dive into engaging conversations beyond textbooks, exploring idioms, phrasal verbs, and unique vocabulary. This isn't your typical English class. It's a fun, memorable journey through language, culture, and daily life. Whether you're learning English or just love languages, buckle up for an amusing experience in Not Your Typical English Podcast.
Hey everyone! Thanks for joining us on this exciting journey. Today, we're talking about a topic that resonates with everyone, especially at the beginning of a new year: fresh starts and resolutions. It's like turning over a new leaf, you know?
Absolutely. I believe that putting your best foot forward is not just a saying, but a powerful mindset. As we explore the beauty of fresh starts, I'll share some tips on how to confidently step into the new and exciting opportunities that come our way.
Exactly. When it comes to resolutions, sticking to your guns is crucial. So we'll also see how to stay true to our goals, finding a way to actually achieve them. It's about resilience and determination.
Let's get started.
I love creating a list of resolutions for the new year, even though I rarely manage to accomplish them. But that's okay. Usually the new year fills me with hope and the spirit of initiative, and I want to put my best foot forward.
I also enjoy making resolutions, Miriam. I think it's a moment to reflect on the future and what you would like to achieve going forward. I'm wondering if our listeners out there set resolutions. You know, those plans we make in January to start up a new hobby, learn a new skill, or turn over a new leaf and decide on some changes. I'm also curious to know if they also have trouble seeing their resolutions through to the end of the year.
That's true, Christine. Resolutions often reflect a hopeful gaze towards the future. But sticking to your guns and seeing them through is another story, right? I've learned that setting realistic goals and having a steady approach can actually make the difference.
Actually, what I do is I sometimes prepare a list of goals that I then review and rewrite in September, because as a teacher, the year tends to start more in September than in January, and because it's not just about setting intention, it's about taking the steps to follow through.
Yeah, I kind of do something I learned from my mom. I sit down with a pad and pencil before the new year and reflect on the past year and evaluate what I liked and what I didn't like, and then think about what I want to do differently. Sometimes I'll set out a plan for how I want to reach my new goals so I can have a clearer vision to success. Then I keep the list somewhere I can see it every day to remind me.
I must say, girls, I really admire you for what you do. Unfortunately, I am the kind of person who really, and I mean really, can't stick to the New Year's resolution. So I tend to avoid them altogether. But I have to say that I have the utmost admiration for those like you who actually manage to work towards their resolutions diligently. I feel that life tends to throw curveballs, and I sometimes get disappointed when I fall short due to lack of time or just the natural ebb and flow of life passing by. So in order to avoid guilt and disappointment, I stopped making them.
Yeah, I get you, Bea. It's possible some of our listeners feel like you and might not enjoy making New Year's resolutions, either because they may give up on them before year's end, or the idea of making resolutions in January seems arbitrary, because why wait for January to start something new? But that being said, I'm sure our listeners would probably like to know what are our resolutions for 2024.
Yeah, I'll start. I won't list the obvious ones I write every year, like eating healthy, exercising more, but I'll share with you the more interesting ones. So my resolutions for the new year are: number 1, definitely this podcast. It's probably a common resolution for the three of us, but I really want to consistently keep it going and do a good job.
Definitely.
Number 2, I'm going to travel more, maybe to Northern European countries like Sweden or Norway, but I haven't bought the tickets yet. It's a plan. Number 3, practice gratitude every day. dedicate 5 minutes each day to write or just think about something to be grateful for. It's a habit I learned some time ago and I find it truly beautiful. I think it really helps in cultivating a positive mindset.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Number 4, read more, but especially finish all the books I start. I have this bad habit of starting several books at once, which end up collecting dust on my nightstand. I want to be more consistent and determined in reading and finishing what I start. And last but not least, cook more. As I previously mentioned, I am not good at cooking. I think more than anything I like practice, or maybe patience, or both. So this year I'm going to commit to learning to cook better.
That's great, Miriam. So glad to hear it. Well, last year I committed to my self-improvement and promised myself to do more physical exercise, eat better, and focus on my mental health. And I have to say, I think I did a pretty good job of keeping those resolutions till the end of the year. I didn't falter. It's important to have perseverance, especially through the hard times, and believe you can succeed. This year, I certainly will want to keep the same resolutions from the previous year. But I'm going to add more travel to the list. I'm visiting Paris in spring. I probably will see more European cities and explore beyond Italy. And perhaps I will also make a resolution to be better at saving money. Okay, I think these resolutions may be at odds with each other, but I'm still narrowing it down.
Yeah.
And Bea, what about you? What are you hoping to achieve this year?
Well, wow. Chris, Miriam, those resolutions are truly inspiring.
Thank you.
I haven't actually decided on a resolution for the upcoming year. As I said earlier, that's not me. But hearing your plans has got me thinking. I will want to focus on moving forward, and although they might not be specific resolutions, I've been contemplating a few things. Firstly, they must be achievable goals. So, I think I will spend more time outdoors in 2024. Or maybe I will try to be motivated without the pressure of resolutions. And if I have to think of a third one, I think I will travel more. Probably I will visit Ireland at some point.
Nice. Sounds like a plan.
Oh, Bea, I noticed you used will to speak about the future, but Miriam used going to. Why is that?
That's a great observation, Christine. So, will and going to are both used to talk about the future, but they have slight differences in how we express future intentions.
That's right. Will is commonly used for spontaneous decisions or predictions about the future, like when something isn't planned or decided in advance.
Indeed, going to is often used when we have a plan or intention in mind, something that we have already decided or prepared for.
Wait, but I noticed Chris said, I am visiting Paris in spring. That's the present continuous. When might we use the present continuous for the future?
Good question. The present continuous for future actions is used when there's a definite plan or arrangement already made. It's like discussing something scheduled or happening at a specific time in the future.
Exactly. For instance, I will visit Ireland implies a spontaneous decision, while I am going to travel more indicates a planned intention, and I am visiting Paris in spring implies it's already arranged and set.
Yeah, I see the subtle differences now. Wills for spontaneous decisions, going to for planned intentions, and the present continuous for scheduled future actions.
That's it. These distinctions help us express different levels of certainty or planning when talking about the future.
Now, let's take a moment to explain the phrases we just used.
Turn over a new leaf signifies making a fresh start or changing behaviors for the better. It's like a metaphor for starting anew, often used when someone decides to make significant changes to their life or habits.
Put your best foot forward implies making a good effort or presenting oneself positively, especially when beginning something new. It's about starting off on the right foot, showcasing your best self.
Stick to your guns means staying determined and not changing your beliefs or decisions, even when facing opposition or challenges. It's about holding firm to your convictions.
Follow through emphasizes the importance of completing tasks or fulfilling commitments. It's about not just starting something, but seeing it through to the end.
And when you give up, you decide to quit or stop an activity or habit. It's a choice to discontinue something, whether due to challenges or a change in priorities.
And finally, when you work towards something, you are actively making efforts to achieve a goal or objective. It's about putting the necessary work to move closer to what you want.
Listeners, can you guess what was the word of this episode? It was achieve. Say it with me. Achieve. We used it 4 times in this episode.
It means to succeed in finishing something or reaching an aim or goal, particularly after a lot of work or effort.
Or to do or obtain something that you wanted after planning and working to make it happen.
I hope our listeners achieve everything they set out to do this year.
Happy New Year!
As we wrap up another episode of Not Your Typical English Podcast, we want to extend our gratitude for being part of this language exploration. Remember, learning a language is an adventure. Dive deeper into our previous episodes and share your favorite takeaways with friends and fellow language enthusiasts. Stay curious, keep learning, and let's continue this journey together.